1380 KCIM Sports presents KCIM Sports Rewind. A look back at the week in high school sports. Brought to you by St. Anthony Rehab Services. Here's Sports Director Jeff Blankman, John Ryan, and Jeff Honnold.
It is KCIM Sports Rewind, the extra edition going on today, because apparently we're going on air a minute and a half early. So, okay, let's do something mindless for a minute and a half, as compared to the other 30 minutes of the show.
I was going to say, you like panicked all of us. I was freaked out, Honnold,
I thought maybe the clock was wrong. You never let us go long.
It is my world, and y'all are in it. So
mean we're quitting 5 minutes early?
We go when I say we go. That's all there is to it.
I would have figured if it's his world, we wouldn't have started.
That's probably true.
That is true. We are doing something a little bit different today. Of course, we've been videoing the program here the last couple of weeks, and we're live on Facebook right now on 1380 KCIM. As soon as I can fill all this up, yep. And we are also going to ask everybody to give us some feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Pomeroy. No Dan Pomeroy.
Bad idea.
Without Tourette's involved, please send your comments to us. And also, Johnston Communication, the guy's cowering back in the corner right now, staying off camera. They've also got a special deal going on. They're giving away some prizes. So if you go on there and you just watch the video anytime, tag your favorite Christmas movie, you're included with their prize giveaway. They got really cool stuff. Is it a 4K TV?
Not this morning.
Does Die
Hard count?
We're not giving it away this morning.
I was just going to ask that. Die Hard a Christmas movie?
It's the Steaks. They're going to do a drawing for Omaha Steaks.
Ooh.
But the question is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Are we
Die Hard
eligible?
is not a Christmas movie.
Are we eligible?
If you're in the video, you're not eligible. Let's put it that way. All right, so go on to our Facebook page, comment, or go on the Johnston Communication Facebook page. You can see it there. YouTube, look up JC Sling Studio, and you can find it there as well. So easy way to win some free steaks on this holiday season. So also, we have got to talk about Morningside.
Yeah.
We're going to deal with a little college ball here. I saw it the other day, making the NAIA?
Yep.
Football championship. Addison Ross saw him catch a touchdown pass the other day during that really snowy game on Saturday up in Sioux City.
Yeah, what a great win for those guys. Yeah. Addison Ross, Hunter Mulbauer from IKM Manning, one of the linemen up there. So we've got a nice little local connection with what's going on up there.
So their payback for playing in the crappy snow on Saturdays, now they get to play Daytona this weekend. So what a fun thing to do, go for a national title, but yet you're in sunny Daytona, so how can you beat that?
And they've been on a nice run the last few years.
I know there's places around Sioux City you can go. They're going to have it on TV in that area, so they're going to try to pick it up. The Miles Inn, I know, is one place. I saw it on TV. I saw it on the news one night that they've got it.
Another local friend of the show, Anna Fleece, won a national title in Wayne State Rugby. So congratulations. I think 9, did they say in a row?
Yeah, 9 in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We had her on talking about rugby here just a few years ago. I'm going to try to get Addison and Hunter to join us probably after they get back from Daytona and that national championship game. So we'll try to get them here, on the radio with us, maybe shortly after the holiday break or something.
Tell you another guy who had a great way to end the season was Cole Neary. With the Drake Bulldogs. He's playing tight end now, not quarterback, but ended his career on Jack Trice Stadium, and they almost pulled it off.
Well, they did.
I didn't get to see or listen to any of that game. I know you follow it. How
very rarely did anybody see. It was on Cyclone TV, but it was just kind of a monsoon and a mess. They were talking about how bad and how cold it was, but Drake gave Iowa State everything they could handle.
Yeah, everything I heard, the mud really helped Drake. It really slowed down Iowa State's speed.
Yep.
And the scary part is the way I was listening to the game, it sounded like Drake was able to kind of handle things up front, which is scary for Iowa State. So
the
weight room might change a little bit.
They put a lot of pressure on Brock Purdy all day long. They just got to him and forced some bad decisions on Iowa State's part. But Iowa State did come out with their 8th win of the year, heading to the Alamo Bowl. So for Cole, that's got to be a great way to end your college career.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been battling injuries and stuff, but he's another one of those guys going to try to get on the radio with with us, and we haven't had him on during his career, but we'll try to get him on probably after the first of the year and kind of talk to him about a great career and that switch for him from quarterback over to tight end. Because I remember talking to P.J. Hedrickton, who was one of the assistant coaches on that state championship team with Cole for Kemper, and he talked about how hard Cole worked in the film room to break down defenses and understand them. So to be able to make that switch from the guy that had to read the defenses to a guy that had to go out and run the routes, well, it's going to be interesting to kind of talk about that change with him.
Yeah, be on the other end of all of that. So terrific way for him. And Sam Brink's not quite done. University of Iowa, they're heading once again to Tampa.
What a wonderful trip that'll be for him. And it'll be interesting to talk to him at some point about the combine. And I know he was talking about going to the combine and trying that out. So interesting to see what the prep work, what do you do differently than you do preseason, in the summertime, and because it's a whole different workout for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And two other guys to kind of mention along with that. You mentioned Iowa State here a moment ago going to a bowl game. Noah Jurgensen from Peyton Jourdain, Greene County, the school that he played football, of course, over there at Iowa State, getting some time as the defensive line. And Miles Rupiper, it'll be interesting to see if he gets to go on that trip down to the bowl game with them this year. And speaking of Iowa State, Tyler Miller, another Peyton Jourdain boy playing over there at Greene County, just officially signed, or not actually signed on the dotted line yet, but verbal to Iowa State as well. So
6'9",
yeah,
275
pounds. Yeah, and he's not done growing yet, folks.
I was going to say, I wonder what the grocery bill around.
I was saying, I'm not paying that grocery bill. What's that, about a cow a day?
Oh man, that is just unbelievable. Yeah, good get though for Iowa State.
Imagine when they get him and get a table and they start forcing the food down him. That kid's going to be huge.
And he's athletic, great footwork. This is a young kid that's got an awful lot of potential, just a junior.
Mm-hmm. That's why you see those big old linemen from colleges, they hit the all-you-can-eat buffets and people just cry. That could be in the restaurant.
They used to do that when I'd walk in, too.
Close if we walked in together.
Now, speaking of the Bowl Challenge, of course, we get the Bowl Challenge again with all of our high school football coaches, all the guys who go out and do the play-by-play, and me. I don't do any of that stuff anymore.
Scoreboard show guys in there, too.
Yep, so, there you go. Yeah. So they're all going to be joining into the Bowl Challenge. As we all know, the key for the Bowl Challenge is not to win. Who cares?
Right.
It's a big whoop. You got football knowledge. Who cares?
Yeah, we joked in here before the show. We don't even remember who wins. Yeah. But we generally do remember who loses every year, including Arnold in 2017.
Yeah, I remember losing.
Yeah. And since we can't find last year's results, you're the honorary loser this year.
I get 2 years of it?
Yeah.
Boy, am I not the luckiest guy in the world.
We got to get a little crown for the loser of the Bowl Challenge.
There we go. Let's get one and smash it up. That's probably more.
Tell you whose picks I look forward to is Denny McCartan's. He always goes out. He always goes out on a limb. He always takes some wild picks in there. So I give him a lot of credit. He's got guts.
And I will say this: I sent him out yesterday late morning, and I literally emailed out to everybody the list, and then I typed everybody's name into my phone to send a text message to let them know I'd done that. Before I could get the text to send off, Sean Burks had already responded with his picks.
Wow.
Yes. So there was not a whole lot of thought from Sean that went into those games.
I'm hoping Sean had a free period at school right at that moment.
Yes. So
I can just say, hold on, kids. I got to go fill this about the Bowl Challenge first, so just sit tight.
He did. I actually texted him. I says, that was quick. And he goes, well, I was filling out my own sheet, for his own bowl picks. Mm-hmm. So he was already in the process. But, yeah, he was in his dead period there at school. So
I got mine sent back.
Yeah? Yeah, we talked about that.
I wait till 5 minutes before the deadline and then remember it and fill it out and just send it in and just pray for the best.
You're usually one of the guys I have to walk in or text and say, hey, are you going to turn things in today?
First bowl game's kicking off in 5 minutes. You going to turn that in? Yep, I sure am. So
after getting last, I decided I needed to probably spend a little more time with it.
And so he was had it sent in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
There you go. There's 20 minutes of pure thought right there for Jeff Arnold.
That really hurt, too.
So we'll post all the picks online. We'll get them up on the KCIM Facebook page. So anything else that happening around the area that we didn't mention?
The only thing is I heard something out in the main office area here this morning when I came in, and I about fell over. Did you actually walk a mile and a half this morning or this weekend? Did I hear that?
In the timber. In the timber. I was so desperate to see deer that I walked a mile and a half in the timber. I saw them.
I was walking by. I thought I heard that, but I thought I had to have heard wrong.
I needed to get my steps in. It was short.
Wow. Just wow. We're going to talk actual high school sports coming up next. We'll talk wrestling first. That's on the way next from KCIM Sports Rewind.
Staff of therapists and trainers provide professional advice on treatment programs to best suit your therapeutic needs. To be your best, you must expect the best. St. Anthony Rehab Services, 794-5000.
1380 AM, 95.1 FM. It's KCIM with Sports Rewind. John Ryan, along with Sports Director Jeff Blankman and Jeff Honnold. Johnston Communications here with us once again. We're broadcasting live on Facebook this morning, so you can tag your favorite Christmas movie, and you got a chance to win some Omaha Steaks today.
Any comments?
If that isn't bribery, I don't know what is.
Any comments yet?
Turn it off.
We got some people joining us here, so maybe they're still pondering if Die Hard is a Christmas movie or not.
It is a Christmas movie.
It is not a Christmas movie.
There's Christmas music in it.
There's Christmas. I'll give you that. But it's not a Christmas movie.
Decorations.
No. Forget it. You can argue till you're blue in the face. It's not going to be a Christmas. It's not a Christmas movie when it was made. It's not a Christmas movie today.
It's still a Christmas
So
movie.
possibly Christmas Vacation might get the most votes then.
Oh, that's definitely a Christmas movie.
Scrooged is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That's the one I always watch around this time of year. So you can't go wrong with Bill Murray.
I'm kind of a Grinch guy. But
What's the Lasso of the Moon Mary movie? That one will probably the win. The one that wins. The one that it's on like 500 times a day, like right before Christmas, where he lassos the moon.
Actually, my favorite is
A Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah.
Bad Santa might be my favorite.
He was saying
Santa
a Christmas
was good.
story. Christmas Story.
Oh,
that one.
okay.
Yeah.
Bad Santa's up there.
No, it's not.
I would have to agree with Arnold.
What kind of Christmas do you have at the Honnold household?
I go by myself.
Let's talk wrestling for crying out loud. Carroll High had a pretty good showing on Saturday, DCG.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done well in the last week getting their season underway. They'll be back in action coming up on Thursday night, finally getting a home meet. But Saturday they went down to the Dallas Center Grimes Dual Tournament. Ended up finishing 6th out of 14 teams that were there. And if you look at all of the teams that finished ahead of them, or at least the top 3 anyway, they're all big schools, 5A programs, 4A programs, Ankeny, Centennial, DCG, and Des Moines East. And then I-35, which is a traditional power in wrestling, finished 4th, and Webster City, who's always had a really good wrestling program, finished in 5th. So a really good showing, I thought, for Carroll on Saturday.
And they're above a program that I thought was going to be pretty good this year is East Green.
Yeah,
Green County.
Green County, yep.
That shows well, too.
Yeah, and, you got to tip your hat to some of the guys. Carter Drake finished up in 4th place for him. Abraham Dirks also finished in 4th. Luke Woosley took 3rd. Parker Clucky finished up in 3rd place for him, and Josh left 4th. So a lot of balance and a really good showing. I like what this program's doing. We've talked about it before with the youth wrestling program and how it's really starting to benefit. And that, to me, kind of really showed on Thursday night. They headed over to Winterset, who's one of the traditional powers in the Raccoon River Conference and probably one of the top 15 or 20 programs historically in the state of Iowa for all class sizes in wrestling. Tigers had some chances in that one, ended up losing by just 2 points, 35 to 33. So I think you're starting to see, and this is still a younger team, you're starting to see what that youth program and what all the work does. And Taylor Berger now in the wrestling room with them as an assistant coach, and I know Coach Noggle talked about that on Saturday. Coach Noggle really talked about Taylor and what he's brought to that room and the intensity and just the fundamentals and all that stuff. So you got a former state champion, former college wrestler, a guy that knows the sport extremely, extremely well and kind of relates, I think, probably with these young kids a little bit because he's not that much older than a lot of them. So, and they probably all remember him from when he was bringing home that state title.
Well, and he's such a good kid. He's going to teach him. Not only is he going to go in the room, beat him up, but he's going to explain to him what he's doing and how to do some of that stuff. And if one of them gets a little cocky, he will take him down and handle it. But really good kid to have in the room. I work with his dad every day, so it's fun to give Taylor a bunch of static, and he's going to definitely help wherever he's at.
Yeah, that kind of knowledge is invaluable. And
absolutely.
That kind of just example of what it takes to get to that level is you just can't replace that.
Yeah, and it's cool for me to be able to see a guy that has that was a wrestler there, went on to college and had a great college career as well, to come back, give back, to see a guy like that back in the wrestling room, helping out with the youth stuff, helping out with the high school kids. I think that's really cool.
So anybody else wrestling-wise?
Yeah.
What are the kind of highlights are sticking out with you this week?
Coon Rapids Bayard wrestled on Saturday as well. They ended up going down to the Woodward Granger tournament. They don't have a ton of numbers, but they've got some really good wrestlers. Peyton Clipperton finished up in second place at 132 pounds. Lane Manny finished in third as well at 160. Aaron McAllister took second at 182. So this is a team that Josh Atwell, now the first-year head coach down there, he took over for Dave Means, and I look for that program, if they can continue to get a few more numbers and try to fill out the weight classes, to step up a little bit from, they've really struggled with numbers and injuries over the last few years.
They got some injuries. Yeah. Pivastorf's out.
Cale Pivastorf is out, so that he's done for the year, so that's certainly going to hurt them.
How about teams like Kemper, South Central Calhoun, East Sac is up there. They're going to be in action tonight, all those teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Kemper was the only one that wrestled on Friday night. They go up to that Humboldt tournament. They were supposed to wrestle on Saturday as well, but that one ended up getting canceled. They wrestled Thursday night as well. But Friday they did a good job, finished up in sixth up at the Humboldt tournament. The guy we talked about early, Ben Schmitz, took first place. He is going to be dominant this year, ranked number 2 in the state. He's got a real legitimate chance to win things there. Chad Martin finished up in third at 182. Taylor Harrington, also at the heavyweight division, 285, finished up in second place. Kemper, again, they're kind of battling injuries, and they're not full as well. But they're a program too that I think is about ready to start stepping into the right direction. Kemper also wrestled on Thursday down at Perry. Ended up losing to Gilbert, fell to Roland Story as well, and then ended up losing as well to Perry. But they've got some young guys, Cal Waniger, Hayden Stout, that all wrestled well for them on that night as well. And then Audubon got their first matches in as well. They took on Griswold, Atlantic Caminita, and Clarinda the other night down at home. Lost to Atlantic Caminita, knocked off Griswold. They won on the 8th criteria. It ended up coming down to the first takedown.
Wow.
So is how they ended up doing that. They were tied 24-24 after all the matches were over. But they're missing some guys right now. They've got to get some guys back on the mats. Their numbers are still low overall as a team, and that's going to really hurt them. Especially in this early part of the season, they got 2 or 3 guys right now that should be wrestling that aren't. So hopefully they get them back on the mats here by Christmas break.
By the way, before we move on to do a little swimming, we're going to talk about that because they're going to be back next. Carol's at the and Storm Lake are at Spencer tonight.
Yep.
We do have some responses here for Christmas. I didn't think about this one. Christmas with the Cranks. So Tricia, that's been on TV like every other movie. On one channel, and also Scrooge. Hey, Stacy Belcock, you're on the same wavelength as me. Bill Murray, anything with him, and
Sorry,
Home Alone.
Stacey.
Home Alone is another one.
Yeah.
Omaha Steaks, for anybody, you just have to watch the video and comment anytime. You don't have to watch us live. Just anytime you watch the video over the next week, make that comment. And Johnston Communication, along with Putin's Chiropractic, giving away the Omaha Steaks. Is that right?
Santa Claus 1 and 2 with Tim Allen's always good, too.
1, 2, 1, 2.
I actually watched 2 last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Right.
I slipped between football.
We digress.
Well,
Talk
it's easier to
swimming.
watch Iowa basketball.
Yeah.
It was okay except for the last half, wasn't it? Or was it?
was
wasn't good from the
okay.
It
get-go?
was pretty sloppy the first half. The second half, I turned it off. I couldn't take it.
All right, swimming. What's happening in the pool?
I tell you what, Carroll boys off to a great start. They rolled last week. We talked about that in their first couple of matches, and then on Saturday went over to the Boone Invite, finished up in second place over there. Now this is kind of a different meet. Most of the time when you have like a 4x50, you have 4 guys swimming 50 meters. They're like a 2x50, a 2x100. So they have 2 guys swimming instead of 4. So they kind of hold it as a little bit of a different meet. But I know Coach Danner really, really high on this team. When you look through, you see a lot of familiar names that have been with them for years. Dalton Naylors, Matt Hanner, Declan McCarthy, Simon Peck, Stone Smith, Trevor Danner, just some of the names that have been around for a while. And then they've added some new swimmers this year, Malachi Purcell and Jonathan Dose, both guys that I think really are going to kind of help this program continue to kind of grow and look for them to do some big things this year.
All right, so that's kind of a wrap-up on swimming. By the way, if anybody wants to hear us talk about something, address a team, whatever, you can comment on the Facebook page right now. We're live on Facebook with the help of Johnston Communications. Again, comment your favorite Christmas movie. Kirk Talene just commented a few minutes ago. What was that one? Christmas Vacation. So we're starting to get more coming in all the time.
Do we have Pomeroy blocked?
No, but that's a good suggestion. We'll talk about that.
That's my only thought for the day.
We got one more break. We're going to talk basketball coming up next.
Services 794-5000.
It is 1380 KCIM Sports Rewind on the air. We're getting lots of people commenting with their favorite Christmas movies. It's odd. We haven't seen a big fan of the show, Randy Snyder, comment yet.
And I know he is a big fan of us doing video. I just don't know if he knows how to get to it.
Well, it's really hard when you have to try to type on a flip phone. I don't think you follow it very well.
Those videos coming awfully bad on flip phones, don't they?
Yeah, probably kind of small, a little grainy.
Well, if I know Randy's probably cracked screen too.
Let's talk basketball. Carroll High the other day, boy, this one really kind of jumped out. I was listening Saturday with the coaches interview with Carroll High. They jumped all over Perry. Perry scored, 18 points? 15 points in the whole game. Every school has been there. They've had teams that are just down, and you feel for Perry.
Oh.
But, if you're the opposing team, you still got to get your work in.
Yeah, and I don't want to make this sound bad, but I had somebody call me on Friday and say, why are you guys not broadcasting the Carroll games tonight? There was a reason that I didn't schedule this doubleheader. Neither one of the games were very pretty, and those are just tough ones for anybody to listen to, tough ones for people to broadcast. So that was part of what went into the thought process of not doing that. You hate to say you're not going to cover Carroll on a couple of wins, but 84-15, kind of a tough game.
We've been on the other side trying to broadcast that. It's just not. You run out of things to talk about.
It's not fun for anybody.
No, you feel so bad for the other team that I mean, it's just.
And Perry was just going through a down cycle. They'll be back. It's a temporary deal. But other than that, the Carroll boys have been playing very good basketball.
Yeah. Absolutely. Ranked number 4 in the state right now by Iowa Preps.
Is that fair?
I would think
maybe a little high for the expectations, maybe? Or
I don't know. I think with what they've done in the summer and as deep as they are and the style they play, and not having seen how everybody's doing around the state means we're only really a week into the boys' season, a week and a half now. I would say right now with the way they're playing, it's pretty legit.
And they got a couple guys coming back.
Yep.
Here in a few weeks. They are playing unselfish basketball. Really good team ball. So, I got a feeling they probably can take a shot at that.
Yeah, they're a tournament team to me. If they can stay healthy, if they can continue, I think the biggest thing for them is going to be rebounding. They're not a tall team, though. They've got some long guys and stuff, and they're really quick. So they got to continue to rebound as a team. Everybody's got to crash the glass and get in there and fight. They've done that so far. If they continue to focus defensively and let the offense kind of come to them, I really think this team's got a chance to be pretty special this year.
How about Randy? What does he feel about the ranking that high? Is he telling guys this is putting a target on your back? Did they address it at all?
Randy doesn't look at rankings. When I ask him about expectations this year, when I ask him about what people thought, he goes, we have our own thoughts in the locker room. We talk about one game at a time. We don't even look who we've got on Friday if we've got a game on Tuesday, because the Tuesday game is what matters. He's kind of got that motto that everybody's using today. It's we've got to play one day at a time. We want to be 1-0 tonight after and move on to the next game after that.
How long is Denny McCartman saying that in football on the Saturday morning coaches interviews? It's everything where it's we're 1-0 today or we're 0-1.
It's still hard to keep kids with all
Yeah.
the stuff they have in front of them, they can
all the
get out
social
and look.
media.
Yeah,
and the
it used
smack
to be a
talk
lot
going
easier
on.
because we
Yeah.
were, all you had was a paper, and they were smart enough to keep the papers away from us, so you could get away with it. But nowadays they see all of it and they see all the hype. So I think they're going to be a special team.
I do too. And the AP rankings haven't come out yet. They won't come out until next Monday. So we'll get kind of a different view on whatever and where everybody's at. We generally do go by the AP rankings here, but means they haven't been released. I know Iowa Preps put out theirs yesterday, and they had Carroll in fourth. So,
by the way, we just heard from Dan Pomeroy. You can't block him on just a message.
Yeah.
So text message. So I already heard from him this morning. So we'll tell you. We'll give you his.
Said.
Yeah. We'll tell you. We'll give you that comment.
By the way, I can teach you how.
Let's talk. What are the teams out there are jumping out at you right now? Anybody else ranked?
Nobody ranked, but I would say right now a boys team that I've been impressed with. I've seen them twice, and then it kind of fell over a little bit. Not that they were able to win the game at home last Friday night, but in the manner that they really kind of dominated East Sac. I think East Sac's going to be a good team this year. But the South Central Calhoun boys, they're sitting 3-1 after a nice win over Manson Northwest Webster last night. They've got some guys that really play with a lot of energy. Landon Schleichman, Cole Corey, Homer Martz, Brennan Holder. Those guys come in and defensively are really aggressive. They've got Matthew Clark shooting the ball more this year, and he's knocking down some shots. He's an outstanding 3-point shooter. I kind of joked with him after the game up in Manson last night that, when you shoot the ball, keep shooting those threes. He's got range out to about 24, 25 feet. Last year didn't shoot a lot. This year he's shooting more. Had 4 threes in that win last night. Zane Newbaum, Jared Burks are going to be special players and have been for them. This team's deep. They're athletic. They don't have, Jared's 6'5", Jacob Nicholson's 6'5", so they've got some size, but they've got a lot of guys that are just long and quick. And they're competitors. They've taken that football competitiveness and rolled it into the basketball game. When they play defense, they're really, really good this year. Really good.
Well, it's one thing to roll early in the year when you don't have the greatest of competition. Sometimes the schedule doesn't work out that way, but South Central Calhoun has played good competition. They played East Sac County so far.
They played East Sac. They played a good Audubon team who I'm really impressed with. Audubon came off that win against South Central Calhoun last week on Monday and then turned around on Tuesday night and beat a pretty good ICAM Manning Ball Club and won that one fairly well. So this is a really, really good Audubon team down there this year as well. Coach Mullenix in his second year down there, and I think they're going to be pretty special as well.
Our Weaver boys still roll.
Yep.
They're just plugging along. I know they beat Boyer Valley and weren't happy with how bad they beat them. So, expectations still really high with them.
Yeah, they've got Derek Wacer back now. That's certainly going to help them out. But they're another one of those teams. I think once Wyatt Newman stops having some foul issues, when I talked with Coach Welkin after the game on Friday night, he seems to be picking up some fouls, and I don't think he's doing a whole lot of things wrong. He's just getting in some foul trouble. But once they kind of get him out of foul trouble a little bit and develop a little bit more depth, I think they're going to be really, really good.
All right, we got to move on to girls basketball. Got about 5 more minutes here of the show. We got a question about a game coming up on Friday night that I want to get squeezed in here too, plus some of our holiday movies. What about girls basketball? Who's jumping out? Who's having a great week this week? Who's really stepping up?
I got to start with the Carroll girls again.
Absolutely.
Tonight's going to be really interesting for me because they go over to Denison Schleswig, which is a team that's got the Moore girl who's an all-stater and has been for the last couple of years. So this will be by far the best team that I think they have played so far this year. But with the way they're playing, they're going to go over there very confident that they could win this game, and rightfully so. So I really like the way they're playing their defense, the defensive intensity. They're sharing the basketball well. Jeff, you've had a chance to see them a few times.
They're very deep. They're going to just keep throwing bodies at you. Their defensive intensity. When they bring Kennedy Lean in off the bench, she's a little wild. She's still learning, but boy, she just gets right in your face and stays there, and so do the other girls. And they broke that 12 game losing streak against Kemper, which was, what did they say, back to Shelley Haluska days?
Shelley Haluska's senior year, yeah.
So back to Coach Ole, right?
Yeah.
So that'd be the last time Carroll won. So. This is a team that these kids now expect to win, and that's a long ways. I mean, they were in that Perry boat for a long time, and nice to see the confidence and smiles on kids' faces.
Well, they took small steps for quite a number of years. They're taking a big step this year.
Yeah, and Ella Collison playing really good basketball right now, not just scoring the ball, but defensively and getting her teammates involved, really dishing out a lot of assists, playing a really well all-around basketball game.
Yeah, Arweva and South Central Calhoun. Again, Emily Danner was our player of the game.
Yes.
Not too long ago here.
Yeah, Emily Danner, player of the game on Friday. She's just a special player. 19 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 steals the other night in a 40-point win over Coon Rapids Bear. They jumped up, and if I remember right, it was like 24-0.
She's the type of kid you can throw her on any team. She'll be great.
Yeah,
I mean, she's
absolutely.
just one of those great basketball players.
You know, and the thing that's interesting with her is a lot of people say that you need to see her play in the AAU stuff because when she plays with other players, you know, like a Maddie Jones up at South Central Calhoun, she has a completely different game than what she has when she's playing with our Weaver, where she kind of has to be that go-to kid. But I think what's really benefiting them is that she's special, but everybody else on that team has taken their game to another level this year. You've seen Leslie Luff stepped up. Jaden Smith had 15 and 7 the other night. Sarah Shirkey's playing well. Emily Hinders, Hannah Kraus, you know. So this is not just a one-girl show this year. I think they've got some girls that have stepped their games up to another level, which is going to take this team to a different level.
Heidi Hammond, also a great game the other night when you called that one.
Yeah. Heidi Hammond just had another good night last night, 7 rebounds, getting a little bit of a look now by Dordt College, so I talked with her about that last night after the game a little bit. She had a big game the other night. She's just a talented kid. One of those that she can beat you off the drive, she can shoot the three, she can rebound, she's got really quick hands defensively, had 19 points for them the other night. I tell you what, the South Central Calhoun team moved to 5-0 last night with that win over Manson Northwest Webster. They've got a chance to be pretty special. I know a lot of people talk about Maddie Jones, but if you can get Heidi Hammond going, Bree Koroleski certainly able to score. Anna McChesney gives them a nice player inside, and Emma McKinney, one of those athletes that can kind of do a little bit of everything and does it all pretty well. So they've got some depth there.
All right, we got a question here on Facebook. They wanted us to talk a little bit about the ESAC Newell Fonda matchup coming up this Friday night in the Twin Lakes Conference.
That boys game should be really, really interesting. I think for ESAC, they've got to try and look to bounce back from what happened to them last Friday against South Central Calhoun. They struggled to shoot the basketball. Newell Fonda, one of the top teams in the state, so this is going to be a good test for them. Their schedule early this season has not been easy, but we know they can score. They put up 90-some last week in a win over Woodbury Central, so this is a team that's got the ability to be able to go out and score.
They don't play tonight, do they? So
No.
they've got like a week off in between games.
Yep. So they've been able to maybe work on some of the things that created some issues for them last Friday with the defense, from South Central Calhoun.
Always a good matchup when you meet up with Newell Fonda. They've got the athletes to stay with just about anybody and everybody out there.
Absolutely.
So, by the way, getting a lot of Home Alone and Elf have surged in our poll as far as Christmas movies going on there. So again, if you watch our video for KCIM Sports Rewind, or if you're watching it now, tag your favorite Christmas movie in there. Johnston Communication, along with Putin's Chiropractic, going to get you some Omaha Steaks. They're going to have a drawing for that one. So,
And by the way, we're sorry you have to watch us.
Yeah. No, we're
Bad
not.
Santa.
We're not apologizing
Bad
for that.
Santa.
And by the way, Dan Pomeroy sent us a quote, which we cannot read on the air. Thank you so much, Dan, for that. Best movie for him was Christmas Vacation, he says, and this quote was also the most common word-spoken phrase at the Honnold household over the Christmas time, so you can imagine what the quote was.
Ooh, there's a lot of words getting there.
And by the way, we haven't gotten anything from Randy Snyder. He's still typing on the phone.
He's still trying to figure out how to do all that. That's KCIM Sports Rewind for this week. Enjoy the games this week.